Good day. So I'm going to do another video here, kind of a continuation of the last one regarding SyPi. Only this time I've taken SyPi and I've broken it down into its core components. I've created a baseline where I've set all the variables that create SyPi to 1, so we can see how the equation works and kind of how pi falls out of it. So the first thing we're going to look at are the angles and degrees. So we get the degrees in a circle, and then we have what I call the reference angle, which is a synergy angle. I'm going to set this to 360, but before I do, let's just run through up to 5,760 to see how that evolves the value of SyPi before we even start. And you can see SyPi down here. When it's set to 1, we're literally at 250,000, and then as we go through this, it goes through some natural fractions up to 165. I don't even know how many zeros that is, but in any case, you can see how that gets affected. I'm going to set this to 360, as I said, so because there's 360 degrees in a circle, or that's the amount of degrees we're going to use at least. Then we're going to set the reference angle, which is set to 1 right now, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set that to 222.222, only we're going to do it by the equation. 2 divided by 9 times 10 to the power 3. So that sets the golden, or the angle reference. So now we're looking at, we can see that we've got 145 and change over 31. Let's go ahead and set the period. The period I set to 28 as a consequence of our moon that orbits the Earth. That's the reason why I used this 28. If we could go through the numbers again, you can see how it affects the equation. We'll just go ahead and set that to 28. Now, this is the synergy constant. This is the position number of the SyPi gradient, essentially. So as I've been going through the gradient, this is the number that I've been changing. So when this value is 162, for example, on our last video, this value was C. When that value is 162, it's the closest to the accepted value of pi. When that value is 173, it gives us the most precise calculation that I have for the Fine structure constant. But it is a gradient, so you can go through an entire series of numbers to get different values of pi, different values of the Fine structure constant. I am going to start, for this particular purpose, I'm going to start with 162, just to keep it consistent. So we've got that set. And now we have the synergy base and the synergy limit. Now this is what I discovered to be extremely close to a natural radiant. We again use a synergy constant permutation, which is 126, and it's actually the first and only number that's an octaquadrian and a synergy constant. It is a permutation of 162. And then the base limit is 2.162. So we can see right there, we're already in the realm of pi. Just by setting that base with that radian, with that radian-like number, we're already seeing a very good approximation to pi. And then we would set n, which I had set to 3, as a number of points in a radian. However, what I noticed is that when you get on the slider, you can actually see it does have a kind of gradient effect on the value of pi as well. So I haven't explored this necessarily. This n value, which is normally set to 3. Typically, when I go through the gradient, I've been using the synergy constant as the position number for the gradient. Now this radius is the radius of each point. So if you follow problem number 1, all the different circles in formation, this is the radius of each circle in formation. And interestingly enough, you can change the radius, even though it's used heavily in the equation, you can change the radius and it does not affect, it has 0 effect on the value of SyPi. I find that rather interesting. So I just could keep that set to 1 because it has no difference. So already you can see we're at the what I call SyPi at 162, which is the closest to the accepted value of pi. You can see the percentage here of how the accuracy. It's just an interesting equation, and the acceleration deceleration when combined with the fine structure constant that I've found that I'm looking into. I have a little more on that, and I will be trying to record a video on that here today as well. It's really fascinating stuff, and there's definitely definitely something intriguing going on here. So I'll leave you with that for now, and yeah, feel free to try it out for yourself. There'll be a link in the description. Thanks.